Of course, you saw and you heard the decision of the Navotas RTC dun sa case si Jemboy Baltazar. Well, several valid points doon. For example, I suppose homicide instead of murder. But that's also a controversial decision for many Filipinos na parang bakit homicide lang? Bakit hindi murder? Walang kasalanan yung bata. Sir, ano po yung what is the explanation for that? I understand there's a legal explanation for that.
Yeah, there is, no? At yung whether or not may kasalanan yung victim, it's not a qualifying circumstance to elevate simple killing, homicide, into murder.
Mm-hmm.
So, naintindihan natin, yung mga kababayan natin, akala siguro nila na kung inosente at napatay may murder ka agad. Hindi ho kasi because innocent or guilt is not a qualifying circumstance for murder. So, kung wala namang premeditation, walang treachery, walang excessive use of force, at ito pang specified sa revised penal code that will upgrade a killing to murder, the judge cannot do otherwise but to impose on the penalty for the lesser offense of homicide.
Of homicide. Yes, sir. Sir, ano po ang ibig sabihin in layman's terms ng premeditation? Kasi mukhang yun ang clincher dito sa kasong ito eh. Was it premeditated or not?
Ang premeditation ho, yung pinag-isipan nila within a considerable period of time na talagang papatayin yung tao at pinano at walang kalaban-laban yung tao.
With treachery.
Oo. Yung treachery sa bagay, yung pinagplanuhan mo at paplaidor ang pagpatay mo sa kanya para hindi siya matatakap o hindi siya mataganti o hindi siya ma-defend ang sarili niya. That's another qualifying circumstance.
Sir, in other words po, kailangan, when you say premeditated,
May plano
talaga.
May plano, oo.
Oo. Ito kasi parang hindi alam kung sino yung suspect at alam niya siya sa sarili niya. So, homicide yun. Diba? Pero hindi naman siguro pinagdanuhan na kahit sino yan at nabarilin na lang natin. Mukhang hindi naman na-improve na gano'n.
So yun ang dahilan kung bakit homicide instead of murder.
So, Attorney Cayosa, so this is probably a case of a policeman not behaving less than professionally. Ganun po ba?
Correct. So,
Not following
criminal liability, he will be dismissed from the service. The maximum penalty for an administrative offense.
Attorney, tanong ko lang po kasi I was looking at yung maximum minimum. For example, for murder, I understand it's supposed to be reclusion perpetua. Pero for homicide, it was only, it's 12 to 20 years. Minimum 12, maximum 20 plus damages and all that. Pero ang binigay lang pong hatol ng judge dun kay Sargento was 4 years. I'm wondering po why is it a third of the minimum?
So, kailangan mo detalye ng desisyon din sa mga tinatawag na mitigating circumstances.
Mitigating.
Diba? So, depende kung ano ang na-improve at naipakita na kumbinsa yung judge during the trial. So, that can be read in the totality of the decision.
Ang understanding ko po, at least from the news reports po from last night, I think yung rationale ng judge ng court was that number one, sumuko naman yung mga police voluntarily, at number two, it was a normal or an official law enforcement operation. Kaya siguro kaya binaba dun sa 4 years lamang. Pero sir, attorney, sorry, tanong lang ng ordinaryong tao, hindi ho ba dapat mas malaki ang responsibilidad at ang burden ng isang opisyal pag may ginawa siyang mali, I mean, we're talking about somebody who was armed and trained to use lethal weapons by the state, by taxpayers. Tapos, sabit, ang laki ng sabit, may isang patay. shouldn't that be a bigger burden than a lesser burden?
Unfortunately, being a public official or a policeman is not an aggravating circumstance kung nakapatay, no? Pero tama ka, mas malaki ang responsibilidad mo. Kaya nga, tatanggalin talaga sa serbisyo. All these benefits will be forfeited. Even if, as the court said, it's not an official function. Pero kulang sila ng care, kulang sila ng precaution, hindi sumunod yung rules of engagement ng kapulisan mismo, kaya tanggal sa so yun yung kanyang additional penalty. There's nothing to do with the criminal liability, pero tanggal sa trabaho, forfeited lahat ng kanyang mga
Benepisyo, retirement, lahat. Oo.
May admin liability, kumbaga.
Tsaka usually pati hanggang retirement yan, Attorney.
Yes. But in the private sector, kung private citizen ka, hindi naman automatic if you're convicted with homicide, i-forfeit ko na lahat yung mga benefits din sa private employment ko.
Attorney, kayo po, from your point of view, somebody who is part of the legal system, the justice system, what do we learn from this case? Looking at it from a larger perspective, whether from law enforcement or from how law enforcers behave and how the public should also look at how they should be behaving.
But let me start with the positive. So kung tignan natin ito, medyo mabilis-bilis ang desisyon ng
Opo,
court.
mabilis.
So, sana all. Kasi nga, karamihan ng mga nasa korte, masyadong matagal. So, pwede naman pa lang mapabilis. Pangalawa, for the law enforcement, we hope it will teach them a lesson na hindi sila maging trigger happy. Nasanay na kasi sila din sa kultura ng impunity at dahil pulis ka may baril ka na lang ng baril. So I hope it will put them to notice na report if pulis ka, pwede mo lang gamitin yung baril mo para barilin yung suspect. So, and then of course, thirdly, many of our people just faith in our justice system. Pero kung pupursigihin, may nagkakastigo, magkakaroon ho naman tayo ng resulta. Sometimes, that's totally to our liking, but, both sides are heard and justice is heard. Sana all na lang.
Attorney, to one point you made, yung being trigger happy, I read through the police protocol and the police procedures, what is allowed, what is not allowed when it comes to discharging your weapons. Tell me if I'm getting this right. But legally, hindi ka pwede magpaputok basta-basta kung ikaw ay police o law enforcer, not unless certain conditions are met. I mean, kasi sa pelikula kasi, sir, di ba, sa pelikula, pag tumatakbong suspect, babarilin kahit tumatakbo. Mukha namang hindi ganun dapat, di ba? I mean, I don't think that's what the law allows.
So, tama, huwag tayong aniwala sa pelikula. Kasi nga, ang SOP, dapat, kung suspect yan, at tumatakbo, pag-disparo ko muna, yung warning shot. Pangalawa, babarilin mo man siya sa paalang para mahuli mo. Hindi para barilin, para patayin. Kasi delikado yan, lalo na kung nasa likod, patalikod ang tama ng bala mo, at ito nga, mahulog ba yan na murder, ito nga, question yung patalikod. So, mga ganun ang dapat learning ground na pangatlo, it's very important, when you, that was an arrest, you only use the necessary force to repel an attack or to enforce the arrest. Hindi naman mo yung license na baril ka lang ng baril. Ang gamitin mo po, tackle them down, as a matter of fact, if there's no reasonable use for a gun, you're not supposed to go your gun. Ang lang ito, mga bata eh. Pag tumakbo, kabulin mo, huwag mong barilin.
Attorney, ito po, I found the police operational procedure, section 2.5, use of firearms when justified. The use of firearm is justified if the offender poses an imminent danger of causing death or injury to the officer or to other persons. So yun ang clean, sir, eh. The use of firearm is only justified if there is imminent danger.
Yeah, to protect your life, to protect your safety. So it cannot be an imagined danger, na dahil suspect, dahil criminal, dangerous, hindi ganun. Dapat there should be overt act. Making you believe that in life at risk, or there is really an impending attack or harm on your person.
At attorney, ito po pala. Sorry, second paragraph. The police shall not use warning shots during operation except when officers outnumbered or overpowered. Not in this case.
But kasi ang dami nila pwede nilang paligiran.
Opo.
I'm sure may mga backup pa ngayon. And if ever you are allowed to use your firearm under your guidelines, use it to disable the person, to prevent the escape of the suspect, not to kill the suspect.
Okay. Obviously, attorney, there's been a lot of violations of, well, primarily here, no, pinapakita ni Ed, no, yung rules of engagement ng PNP. In the end, you still feel that it was homicide?
Well, that's the judge's decision. Kasi siya yung nag-examine ng mga witnesses. It's easy for us to comment and cast our doubts based on what is usually the case. But we have to remind everybody that it also depends on what was testified to and proven. The other thing that we always explain is, when it comes to criminal cases kasi, in presumption of innocence, plus the degree of proof to convict, for example, to a higher offense of murder, must be proof beyond reasonable doubt. So baka nagkulang lang. Maaring murder na, pero nagkulang lang ng ebidensya o may mga elements na hindi na-prove in addition to the killing, kaya homicide lang ang kanyang hapon.